Xavier, so coming from Williamsburg, you've been at ODU for your senior now. You got your 1,000 point tonight. Congratulations. How have you felt yourself grow as a player during your time here?
I've grown a lot, man. To believe it, I played no defense in high school, for real, for real. I did not pride myself on defense. I didn't shoot the ball well in high school at all. I think I've become a better shooter when I was here, and definitely a better player defensively. And I feel like I pay attention to detail more now. Now that I'm in college, you know, I definitely that's probably like the biggest thing. I pay attention to detail. Everything everything on the court. I pay attention to just like coming off a flat ball screen or defending this out of bounds under. I just think I pay attention to more detail than I did in high school.
Yeah, defense is something that you guys really did do very well tonight, especially in the first half. You helped Charlotte to just 3 of 20 from the field. What were you guys doing to limit them so well on the offensive end?
I would say just being aggressive. You know, most of the teams that's very aggressive, you know, it kind of makes the other team not offensively as aggressive as we are defensively. So I think we did a good job of getting steals and deflections, and we limited them to one shot. So we got the rebound and we took off.
And Coach Jones, he seemed very animated on the sideline throughout the game. Even though you guys had a big lead, how does it feel to have a coach who holds you guys accountable so much, even during wins like this?
It's good because even when other players come in that normally don't get much playing time, he holds them accountable just as he was as us. So when someone else comes out or someone else gets hurt, you know they got to come in and do the same thing the other player did, you know. I think he just does a good job of, you know, he treats everyone the same. So I think that's great.
That's all my questions for Xavier. Congratulations again on the win and your 1,000 point.
Thank you. Appreciate it, my man.
I mean, you talked about how, you know, you've kind of evolved as a player up until this, 1,000 point mark. But I guess, what is it like for you just after the game, looking back, just, I guess, emotions, thoughts on being able to reach that point?
It's good. You know, I was wondering when I was going to get 1,000. I'm like, I was thinking I wasn't going to get it, honestly. And then someone told me, I was like, oh, I was 11 points or 5. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, you know what I mean? But it just feels great. You know, it feels much better than high school. What you did in high school is like, okay. But in college, you know, it feels pretty good because there is not a lot of players that get there. So it just felt good, you know, a little refreshing, kind of a build of confidence, you know, like, wow, I got to 1,000. I can say that about myself. So, yeah, I'd say it builds confidence, and I just feel good.
That's awesome. That's all the questions I got, but congratulations.
Thank you again. Appreciate you.
David, you want to give it another try? Still nothing. All right. X from David, with 6 games left, are you thinking about the bigger picture, or is that dangerous?
Honestly, I'm thinking about beating UAB because they got a pretty solid record going down there, you know. And I don't know if the odds are against us, but going down there, I want to get these 2 wins and see where we go from there. You know, the ultimate goal is everyone's ultimate goal is that championship and holding that ring on the finger, but I think we got to take it step at a time because just like last year, we had to take it step at a time. And not last year, the year we won it, we took it step at a time. So I think we're going to take it step at a time this time and see what happens.
And lastly, what do you think of Austin's alley-oop dunk?
What? Sports Center? I was like, whoa, hey, we didn't see that in a while at ODU. So I love his swagger. I love the way he plays. And he's very explosive. He can do much more, I promise you.
Everyone else good? Awesome. Thank you, X.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Hey, Jeff. What are your thoughts on the team's defensive effort tonight? Is that pretty much what you're looking for every time out?
Yeah, I mean, if we can hold our opponents to 28% from the field and 17 from the 3, I would gladly take that. You know, I thought we came in with energy. After shoot around today, I wasn't sure where we were mentally, and I challenged the team. I challenged and called out some individuals, and you know, they either proved me wrong or I woke them up. But the result was, we came out of the gates, I think, ready to play and had energy. I think it was obvious that Charlotte looked like a tired basketball team, and that's just indicative of the travel, in this league and the, even more difficulties this season. But give credit to our guys for being ready and coming out. And I think, when you look at their shooting percentages and you look at the turnovers that we forced, that's a pretty good indication that, we didn't just play hard, but I thought we played well defensively. Everybody was doing their job. Everybody was, in position to play team defense. And then, those points off turnovers, getting 23 points off turnovers is not something that we see a lot, but that's hard to overcome.
I think 18 of those were in the first half. Was that just kind of an ideal first half? You can't do it much better.
Yeah, to be honest, I think we left about 10 or 12 points on the board. Our defense was outstanding, but offensively, we just kind of rushed and got sloppy, casual, and missed some opportunities. And that was a concern. I knowing Charlotte, knowing their coaching staff, I fully expected them to make a run, and I would have much rather it been 26-28 than 16 at half. But obviously, it worked out well for us.
And with 6 games left, things going really well. I think you've won 9 out of 12 or something like that. How do you guard against your players thinking about the bigger picture and the long term versus this week?
Hopefully they're smarter than that, and more mature than that. But it doesn't matter which year or which team. You're constantly talking to them about what's important, and what's important is facing us right now, and that's why I did kind of call them out and during the pregame meal because I wasn't sure. You never. You try to have a feel as a coach, but you never know one way or the other. But I observed some things during shoot around, and I, rather than being angry after the game and talking about it, I figured it was better to be proactive and at least, address it at that point. The players, I'm sure, would tell you that I definitely read them wrong and that they were ready to play. And if that was the case, then that's fine. The bottom line is, we were ready to play, and we got a much-needed win.
What kind of stuff did you see, if you don't mind my asking?
I just, some of the guys, in fact, probably about half of them, I thought really, had energy and were into it and were talking and focused. We had some guys that just weren't moving real good, didn't have real good pace. And that's, that's usually not a good sign. But again, whether they were or they weren't, the bottom line is they got themselves ready to play, and they came out and did exactly what we would have wanted to do.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win. You guys played a tough game in Charlotte against the same team. What was the difference tonight that allowed you guys to win with a marginal lead the way you guys did tonight?
Well, I think our defense was outstanding, but again, as I said, I thought Charlotte looked like a tired basketball team, and they played the game on Wednesday as well, and then had to travel here, and the travel in Conference USA can be brutal, and you've got to try to fight through mentally and physically to have that energy and focus, and being home, I think, helped us. In retrospect, I'm glad the games were in the sequence that they were in. Had we won an overtime game here on Wednesday and had to travel down there, I think the task would have been harder. So the way the schedule panned out, I think was in our favor, and hopefully it shows some maturity and leadership on our guys' part to understand how important this game was and to get themselves and their teammates ready to play.
defense seems to be a point of emphasis from everyone in this interview today. The defense, especially in the first half, was terrific. You guys limited them to just 3 of 20 from the field, also forced 13 first half turnovers. What were your keys that you wanted to emphasize going on the defensive end heading into today's game?
The same thing as we did the other night. Just be aggressive, stick to our defensive principles. Everybody do your job. Try to make life miserable for Charlotte. That's really no different than any other game. I think what happened was, Charlotte wasn't able to score out of their offense, and when they were forced to make individual plays, our team defense was really swarming. We had active hands, and we got to the loose balls and translated, those steals and deflections into points at the other end.
You guys showed how capable you are of being a very dominant team. How do you do this? How do you maintain that level of consistency going on the long run?
I think, again, it's preparation. There's no substitute for hard work. The coaches, I think we have to be smart and have the temperature of the team, so to speak, in terms of their physical and mental freshness. It doesn't do us any good to wear them down in practice if they're too tired to play in a game. So you've got to find that balance of, getting the work in, but also making sure that we've got some legs and fresh minds. And then like I said, seeing the big picture, and I think communication is the big thing for that. We're playing, we're fighting like heck to be relevant and seating and all that kind of stuff. There's no need to get into the weeds of it, but we do need to understand how important every game is. We know going down to UAB on this coming weekend, that's a huge week. That game Friday night, they're going to be, they're going to be ready to go. I think they got swept by Louisiana Tech. I think that's the case. I know they lost last night and they were down tonight. So they're going to be like a wounded animal, and, both teams want and need to win. So our guys are smart. I mean, we don't have to fool them into anything. I think you're honest and you communicate, and they know what is at stake, and hopefully they understand what it takes to give ourselves the best chance. There are no guarantees.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Megan, you need anything?
We had talked with Xavier Green before this, and he was saying how, he thought he might not ever reach that 1,000 point mark, but, just what was it like for you to watch him to be able to, finally hit that milestone?
I had no idea. After we came to the locker room, and I told the guys, all right, we'll see you on Monday. Everybody started jumping around and pouring water on his head, and I had to ask the assistant coaches what was going on. I had no idea. That's a nice achievement for X, and hopefully he can break out of this scoring slump that he's been in. No, it was good to see him happy, and it was good to see his teammates celebrating with him on that.
That's all I got. Thank you.
I got one more.
Yep.
The reverse alley-oop there late in the game, when did you draw that up and put that into the playbook?
I love dunks, but we've got a hard enough time executing simple stuff. That is about Austin Trice and his amazing athletic ability, pure and simple. I appreciate you trying to give me credit for it, though.
Everyone good?
All good. Thanks,
Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.